Good evening everyone. Tonight's video will not be a picking one, but rather I will try to answer two questions that I saw on one of the channels and that were a little bit maybe confusing for the beginning lock pickers. The first question was, how does a Euro cylinder works? And the second was, how do you take a Euro cylinder apart? I will start with the Euro cylinder taking apart, and I will show you what tools you can use and how you can achieve that. Almost all Euro cylinders, they are held, so the cores are held by a C-clip, which is in between the housing and the thumb turn. And if you can see it, you can make it out here. When you rotate it, at one point you will see the two ends of a C-clip. Again, not all your cylinders have it, depends on the security of the lock, on the type of the lock, but on a normal lock you have this. So basically you just remove the C-clip and then you're able to remove the core. You can do this on both sides, of course. You remove the second C-clip, the thumb turn will fall down, and you can repin the lock, you can play with the lock, you can do whatever you want with the lock. One side is easy to put back because you can use a normal follower, and when you're done repinning it, you just push back the core. The tricky part is actually the other side, and you can do that. You can insert it by having one of these tools. They come in various shapes, various sizes. Also the cheapest one that you can find or make is from a paper clip. You bend it to the proper dimension and it will basically hold the tool here like that, and there will be such a part that is pointing inside of the core, which will be actually holding the pins in place. So I have this very nice tool that I bought with one set, and I will show you what you do exactly. So let me, hopefully the camera will focus. Please, camera. So here we go. You just insert it here. You move it to the proper place, and currently the tool is actually holding the pins in place. So I will remove the C-clip and I will show you exactly how is this done. So let's first get rid of this C-clip. So again, I'm not doing this on the real lock because, as I said, it's not as easy as a rim cylinder to repin back, so I'd rather do it on one that is already broken, but you will get the idea. So the C-clip is removed. You can see that even the core is already falling down. So I suggest that, well, because when it's a Euro cylinder, the keyway is a little bit paracentric, so it's not straight down. So I suggest you move a little bit the tool to the side. You hold it with one hand, and basically you can take out the core. You can slide it out. So, as I said, it's a little bit tricky. But here we go. You can see inside. I do hope so, at least. There we have it. The pins are held in place by the tool itself. So once you're done with the repinning job, you can just again put the pins one by one, starting from the first to the last one. You need to hold the tool, and then when you're done, click, you put inside back the core and you slide out the tool. So that's how you close a Euro cylinder. As I said, it's not easy, but it's doable. So if you have the will, you can do it. For the second question, how does a Eurocylinder lock work? Well, basically, when you insert the key on one side, on either side, you can, the thumb turn is rotating. But as most Eurocylinder locks, if you insert the key on one side, you can no longer insert the key on the other side. Here, you cannot rotate the cylinder, so it will still rotate on one side. But if you take out the key on this side, now this is the operating side. How does this work? It's actually very easy. You have an actuator inside. So this is the actuator. This is the actuator that is inside the core and disconnecting the two cores, and actually is rotating the thumb turn. So what's the idea? You can see it here. That's the very basic form, and this thing, the actuator, fits here. So when you have a key, when you insert the key on one side, it will go all through the core, set the pins in place, and it will push the actuator. Now that the actuator is connected to this side, when you turn the key, it will also turn the thumb itself. Once the key is inserted on the other side, it will align the two parts of the actuator, and it will push it so that it now is becoming the operating part. So the moment you do that, the key will turn the thumb turn. So basically that's how this thing works. And just to demonstrate it, here is the broken off core. Here is it how it's locked in by how it goes inside the cylinder, and this is what it does. Come on. That might not be the original. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that's not the original actuator. Yeah, that's the original actuator for this lock. So this will come. This will come inside. Okay, maybe we can try it like that. Let's align it. Put it inside. So once the key is inside, now you can operate the core. Once the key is inserted on the other side, the actuator will move and it will lock actually this part. So you will be operating them from the other side. So that's it, basically the answer to these two questions. I hope it was useful for somebody, and I will see you in the next video. Keep it Lego, guys. Cheers.